Libby says, I colored it myself 3 weeks ago, had to go dark again because it's just easier to do, and I miss my blonde hair. Denise says, I don't dye my hair or do my nails, finally working out for me. Linda says, it's been 8 weeks. It's not that bad yet. I'm going to try to let it go until my next appointment on June 2nd and decide if I will just get a cut. She says, I'm hoping for some nice gray highlights. I do have a box of Clairol Natural Instincts if it becomes hideous. Mandy says, my appointment was supposed to be March 28th. My next one is May 9th. I've missed one before, and it was bad, but not horrifying. But I haven't missed 2 before. I'm sure if that one gets canceled, I'll be looking for a box of color. Maybe I should get one now before I can't find any. Yeah, I hear it's very hard to come by right now. Corinne says she's been letting her hair grow natural for the last 20 years. I said, good for you, Corinne. I am not that brave. Not yet. Marcy says, my mom decided to stop coloring her hair. When it all grew out, she had this beautiful salt and pepper combination, and she gets a lot of compliments. I think it's going to be a trend. I think that this summer there's going to be a lot of gray hair or salt and pepper or white hair. I really am envious of the people whose hair grows in white. I think that looks so much better than the gray. One of the issues that I have with the gray hair I don't like, and one of the main reasons that I continue to get it colored, do you feel the texture of the gray hair? It's very wiry. It's not soft. It reminds me of witch's hair, and I don't want my hair to feel like that. I don't like it. Kathy says, it's been 9 weeks, 2 days, and 4 hours since my last color beautification. She said my husband's last comment was that maybe COVID-19 was God's way of telling me to go gray. It's a good thing he can duck fast. No, I am not ready to go gray. Need about 10 more years for that decision. And the same thing with men. I mean, Joe's always cut his own hair, so this is not a big deal for him. But Lauren says, my husband took the opportunity to shave his head so no one will see him till it actually grows back. Yeah, a lot of men don't really do their own hair. So I guess, and they need their hair cut a lot more often than us ladies do, if it's short anyway. Like Joe has pretty much a buzz cut. I mean, and he probably cuts his hair like every 3 weeks. Well, he should cut it every 3 weeks. Doesn't always do it every 3 weeks, but yeah, I'm guessing some of the men are having some issues too. I'm hearing that the Flowbee is making it come back. Remember the Flowbee? I think that was like a vacuum cleaner attachment or something. I don't know. Even people are starting to do their dogs now. Tucker didn't have an appointment until I think June 10th. I think she left her face a little more furry than usual because she's already starting to look a little homeless. And I typically get her done about every 4 months. So I know that I think that they recommend you doing it every 3 months. So I do try to get an extra month out of it because I like her a little on the fluffy side. But she's looking almost homeless now, and it's only April. So I think that she's going to have to take a little bit. It's hard because you're like, take a little bit more hair off the face. And the next thing you know, she's going to be like bald. And I'm going to be like, no, I didn't mean that much. So, it's a balancing act. On to the blog post for today, the very first blog post of the 30-day challenge. Are we excited for the 30-day challenge, people? Oh, yes. Thank you. I'm so excited, too, and I'm glad that you are as excited. People, it is time to feel better. That's right, just feel better. Do you get up in the morning, look in the mirror, and think, I thought I'd be further along in life by now? More successful, less anxious, making more money, feeling more content, experiencing more happiness. Me too. Almost every day of my life for too many years. After spending most of my life feeling unsatisfied and unfulfilled, I picked up yet another self-help book. This was probably the 74th book I had to read on the subject. I have read almost all of them. Almost all of the self-help books from the beginning of time. and they never really made that much of a difference. Now, I always felt inspired after I finished it, but I rarely put the tactics they suggested into practice. And if I did, it didn't last long. In all honesty, that is, I was lazy. I wanted a different life, but I didn't want to have to do anything different than I was already doing. Sounds a little silly when you put it that way, doesn't it? Well, it has to do with your mindset, and that is just it. You have to get in the right mindset. One where you're willing to do the work, willing to take suggestions to heart, willing to feel a little uncomfortable, and yes, even at times foolish, and willing to do things differently in order to get a different life. The 74th book is the one that broke through for me. The one that made all the difference and started my journey to a much better, happier life. Not only did this book change my life, it started me on my own personal mission to help as many pessimists like myself see that they too can change. Now, the book is You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. You've heard me talking about her and this book many times. I'm not sure if it was because I needed to hit book number 74 for it to finally sink in, or she just broke it down in a way that finally made sense to me. But I believe my biggest takeaway from this book was this: be willing to try anything. I was in my mid-40s when I read this book. She urged readers to be willing to try anything, believe in anything, and trust that good is coming to you. I knew that I had read 73 books before and nothing really changed. I decided to give it a full go. I trusted the process. I was willing to do the things that made me uncomfortable. And here's the real clincher. I finally did things that I had felt too foolish to do in the past. I embraced all her tactics. I asked the universe for what I wanted. I put notes on my dresser saying things like, all the money I need is coming to me. I did affirmations. I did it all. They didn't all stick, but I tried them all and figured out which ones worked best for me and which ones I didn't feel added enough to my life. This is all I ask of you in this challenge. Just be willing to try anything, even if you feel foolish. You're not going to really be looking foolish in front of anybody but yourself. So put it aside. Who cares? I am now the goofiest, most uncool person I know. And I'm also happy, gosh darn it. So I don't care anymore. This is where the challenge part comes in, though. I challenge you to check your mindset. How is it right now? How is your mindset right now? Is it where you want to be? If not, hang with me. We will get it where it needs to be. Here's what I want you to do in order to get a running start. All right, listen. Imagine yourself as a much older person sitting in your home, surrounded by your photo albums, your favorite things, and your loved ones. What and who is there? What type of pictures do you want to be looking through in those albums? What are some of the things you want to have surrounding you? I want books, and more books, and pictures of me from all over the world doing all the things I've always wanted to do. So put some real thought into this. What do you want to see? What do you need to do now in order to get to that place? How should you be living your life now to make the end the way you want to see it? Put as much detail in this picture as possible. Where do you want to be living? Who do you want to be with? How much money do you want to have? What type of career do you want to have left behind? What can you still be doing, if anything, that still helps people, gives you a sense of purpose? Take the time to figure it all out. Make a plan that you can enact right now to get you where you want to go. So, for my own personal path, my growth didn't take nearly as much time as I thought it would. Like the gratitude journal. People just don't want to do the gratitude journal. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. It's what changed everything for me. 3 to 5 things per day that you're grateful for. Give yourself 5 minutes. 5 minutes to figure out 3 to 5 things. 5 minutes. So I'm the happiest I've ever been. I wanted to let you know, this past year, money, it's been a bit of a struggle for us here. Guess what? Still the happiest I've ever been. So it's really not about money. I know you need enough to pay your bills and get by, but you don't need the amount you think you do in order to be happy. Now, I included the picture today on the blog post of my backyard and then my best girl because these two things, along with my husband, are the things that make me the most happy. Did I ever think I could live in such a beautiful place? Not until just recently. And then it was hard. It was hard to buy a house that is in a somewhat affluent, sought-after area with a beautiful view. But we did what we had to make it happen, including a lot of sacrifices in our daily living. In fact, Joe was chatting with his aunt yesterday over Messenger, and he had kind of joked with her. He's like, nothing's really changed that much for us here. We just, we haven't gone out to dinner, but we didn't do that much anyway. We are homebodies, and that is really the way it has to be in order for us to afford this house. But it is so worth it to us. And when there are times that I can't get out of the house, like now, there's definitely no place I'd rather be than right here in my own home. My daily life consists of my husband, that view, and that furry face every day. Happy? You betcha. And that is my dream for you. So what is it that you really want? The time to ask this question of yourself is now. Because if not now, then when? Don't wait to start living your best life. Ask the questions. Start a plan and get to living the life you've always dreamed of. It is all up to you. You decide. And all this week, we are going to get you in the right mindset. We will talk about perception, the way you currently live, and finding a purpose that will make life more worthwhile. I thank you for joining this challenge. If you find it helpful, please tell your friends. By the end of the month, I want you to have a different dialogue with yourself in the bathroom mirror every morning. So go get to work on those questions and strap in for the glorious journey we're about to go on and make today your best day yet.
Thank you for listening to The Hopefulist, hosted by Wendy McClure. For more inspiration, please visit hopefulist.com. Thanks, and we'll see you tomorrow on The Hopefulist.
#Hopefulist challenge. Woo woo!